Just letting you guys know you can listen to my No Bleeps podcast anywhere you stream podcasts or on my No Bleeps YouTube channel. Link in the description. Hey guys, it's Billy and welcome back to Sesh. Today I want to talk about this entire Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, Trisha Paytas situation because a friend of Jeffree Star's, a really good friend of Jeffree Star's, has now come out to support Trisha Paytas and really back up the claims that she is making against Jeffree Star, as well as bringing some new information between Jeffree Star's friendship with Shane Dawson to the table. And I definitely want to get into some things that Trisha has brought up on her podcast with Ethan Klein, the Friend of Me's episode that recently came out titled Trisha Was Bullied and It's Not Okay. So first, I do want to give a recap if you guys do not know what has gone on with this situation. Last year, Trisha went on a trip with Jeffree Star and his friends and his employees to Las Vegas. On this trip, they proceeded to talk so poorly of her to her face, behind her back. She was really upset about it. Even on this podcast episode, she got into more detail about some of the things they told her, including telling her to jump off of the balcony. It was really, truly so vile, the things that they were making fun of: her weight, her money, her skin, all this stuff. And she left the trip early. On the trip, Jeffree said that he was going to pay for glam and hair for everybody, and Trisha ended up leaving early, so she ended up getting charged by Hair by Jay, Jeffree Star's wig guy. She felt like she was overcharged. She recently was venting about it in a mukbang that she felt like a year ago she was overcharged for service by Jeffree Star's wig guy. She didn't like that, didn't sit right with her. She was just venting. The hair guy saw it, went on Instagram Live, went off on her, said the most disgusting things about her, admitted to the fact that they talked so badly about her on this trip. We had Jeffree Star even admit that he had apologized to Trisha for those comments, which means he literally admitted to saying those comments at one point in time. And Trisha saying that she no longer supports Shane Dawson because of the fact that he is choosing to stand by Jeffree Star. And literally, Shane was still supporting this hair guy who was talking so vile of Trisha up until the point where Jeffree was like, I'm going to fire this guy, which took a couple days, by the way. So here we have Trisha really sad that Shane Dawson, her friend of 12 years, is supporting Jeffree Star, someone he has known for maybe 2 years, and his team of people who talk so badly about his best friend of 12 years, and most likely him as well. Like I said, one of Jeffree Star's good friends, Oscar Wilde, came out on Twitter today to talk about the situation and show support to Trisha Paytas, and to tell Shane Dawson that he is supporting someone who is not 100% loyal to him. So he tweeted out, I love seeing Trisha evolving into such a self-aware, kind, just all-around better person. I try and see the best in just about everyone, and she's making it easy to see she's educating herself and attempting to better herself. All around proud of you, friend. He then says, I could easily go the F off on awful things that people have said in my time with people I've never signed an NDA with. I just want nothing to do with people that have proven to me that they are simply awful. I gave Jeffree tons of chances. If Shane wants to believe him, that's his choice. And then we get into some of the juicy stuff. Yeah, I've been too kind and kept my mouth shut for too long, but the only thing I will say publicly right now is that yes, I physically was asked by Jeffree, quote, at what point do I cut ties with Shane? Like, this is more than 3 strikes. Literally the effing day after Tati filmed her video. And the video that he is talking about is the video that Tati made last year when all this stuff was coming out about Shane having involvement in the Bi Sister video, and it not just being a situation where only Jeffree and Tati were trying to ruin James Charles, but it was Shane also involved in that. And now we're hearing that after this situation, Jeffree wanted to drop Shane. Like, oh my god. He then continues and says, I'm not trying to bring people into this, but I truly feel my kindness or empathy was taken advantage of, and I just feel bad for the fact that Trisha lost a friend for siding with someone I physically watched say what they said. Simple as that. And that is sad. The fact that Jeffree is out here saying things like, when do I cut ties with Shane? And Shane is out here just blindly just supporting Jeffree over his friend of 12 years, who has been so loyal and so excited for him to return back to the internet despite everybody giving her so much backlash for being friends with Shane and for continuing to bring up the fact that she wants him to come back to the internet when absolutely really no one wants him to come back. He then says, I've attempted to make a video like 10 times for whatever reason. I keep crying. I never lower my guard like this, but I'm not going to sit and let people's friendships of over 10 years go to because of lies. If that is the case, I'm more mad at myself for ever supporting them. Oscar later came out with a video response. It was just his voice, but he said, "My response to the Frenemies podcast about Trisha, Jeffree Star, and Shane. This is not easy for me to do, but I truly felt the need to express my end and wish nothing for the best for all humans involved. That being said," and in this video that Oscar made, he was addressing some of his tweets and some things Trisha had said. He said that when he tweeted out about Jeffree wanting to drop Shane, this was when Tati posted her video, like I said, last year, and Shane went on Instagram Live to go off on her. And it was after this live that Jeffree was basically saying, like, at what point do I end this friendship? Jeffree claimed he never knew any of the stuff that was coming out about Shane's past. He was unaware of the cat video and all of this stuff. And Oscar says he was shocked because he thought that they were closer and that Jeffree had known his past, which I honestly swear that Jeffree has talked about the fact that him and Shane are so similar, but maybe that was just Shane talking about how him and Jeffree were so similar and the fact that they had a really bad past. Like, maybe Jeffree didn't even care to know that Shane had a bad past and only cared about the fact that Shane was willing to help him redeem his current image. Oscar says that Jeffree kept saying that there were these strikes against Shane, like he was like tallying their friendship somehow. Oscar says he always thought to himself, like, dang, I would never leave a friend in need like that. And that was exactly what he told Jeffree in regards to Shane during the entire scandal, to stand by his friend. So the fact that Shane is talking to Trisha, because this is what Trisha is saying, that Shane was saying all of last year that he was going to distance himself from Jeffree. He's scared of Jeffree. And during his scandal, he's thinking that Jeffree was so loyal to him that he cannot possibly ever not be friends with Jeffree. And that's why he's taking Jeffree's side in this situation and showing him so much loyalty and continually promoting Jeffree on his Instagram story, on Ryland's podcast, and putting him on this pedestal and fangirling over him, because he's telling Trisha, well, Jeffree was loyal to me, so I need to stay by his side because he was loyal to me during all of last year for everything that was going down with me. And it's like, okay, Trisha was also there for you, and you know what? She's been publicly promoting you to no end. So now it's like, wake up. There's somebody that is really close with Jeffree out here saying that he was literally ready to ditch you. He was literally saying there are strikes against you and that at one point do you end the friendship. It sounds to me like the only reason why Jeffree was sticking by you was because he didn't want to look like a bad friend and go down for that too. Whereas Trisha was sticking by you because she genuinely was your friend. So now you're losing a loyal friend to stand by someone who just didn't want to look bad and stuck by you, not because they loved you and thought you were family, according to what Oscar is saying. Oscar says that he's not the type to bail on his friends when they're in need, and right now he wants to come out and do that for Trisha because he feels like she needs a friend to back up what she's saying. He says that Jeffree just has a lot of manipulative behaviors, and he gets into the fact that it's crazy that Jeffree has basically the audacity to act like he isn't the one that acts like this, because he's out here saying things like, my employees don't represent me, as if he is not the one that sets the precedent for his friend group and for his employees. Like, if Jeffree Star did not act like a mean girl, I don't think his employees would ever feel brave enough to get on Instagram Live and talk smack about Jeffree Star's former friends or anyone that Jeffree Star knows or has beef with. That's messy, it's unprofessional. But if Jeffree has set the precedent where it's okay to say things like that, then they're not going to be scared to say really mean things online and think their job is going to get risked. Oscar says that Jeffree told him things about Trisha that he never needed to hear. He didn't know if Jeffree wanted him to hate her. He says that he didn't know what he was trying to control in the situation by telling him these really weird things about Trisha. Jeffree played very weird social games to gain attention, and he says that he's surprised that Shane has honestly lasted this long, and he doesn't know if it's for financial gain or not, but at the end of the day, Shane Dawson is someone that he looked up to, and he just like does not know what he's doing right now. And he continued to say, like, you're supporting the wrong person. If you want to gain any relevancy back, you need to distance yourself and man up instead of sneaking back into Jeffree. and that it's time to change and wake up. That was basically his whole message. Like, his whole thing in this entire video that he made was a direct message to Shane that you are not surrounding yourself with a good person, and you are currently taking the side of someone who was not down to take your side last year. And on the podcast, Trisha and Ethan made such a good point about Shane not defending Trisha. They're saying that, you know, Shane is saying that he's scared to speak out, he's scared to side with her, but he's literally willing to put his face and name out there to redeem images of Tana Mojo after TanaCon and redeem Jeffree Star's image and try to get the internet to like feel sympathy for Jake Paul, but he can't come out and be like, my friend was called foul names and this is not okay. It just doesn't make sense. He needs to stop saying that he's scared then, because that's pretty brave of him to be only sticking by people that are bad. And she says that Shane has like changed in her eyes from like this really sweet person to someone that is like just selling themselves to the devil. That's what she's saying. But Ethan says something to her that might just be true, is that she might just be opening her eyes now. Like, maybe Shane has always never supported her and always just spread rumors about her, because she did say that Shane Dawson was the one that told Gabby Hanna that she had an STD, and then Gabby went to go warn Jason Nash to watch out for Trisha because she has this STD. And Trisha got mad at Gabby Hanna when in reality her best friend Shane was the one that is spreading this nasty rumor about her. So maybe after all this time, even Shane has put on this woe is me act for Trisha, and she's just thought he was this great person and defended him, but in reality he wasn't ever that great of a friend to her. So maybe Ethan is right in saying that she's now just opening her eyes and seeing that he is not and never has been a good friend to her. She feels like any time that she had gone to vent to him, he probably just went and told Jeffree. That is really freaking sad. I know that she vented to Shane a lot about the stuff that she was going through. For Shane to just relay that information to Jeffree Star probably made fun of it. I think that not only Trisha is seeing this side of Shane, but everyone is seeing this side of Shane this week. Like, Shane is on a freaking break, you guys, and he is in this big scandal. That is when you know you have an issue. He is out here publicly saying, I'm gonna stand by someone who really hurt my friend of 12 years. And that is just, I think it's hard for a lot of people to process, because whether or not you like Trisha because she has done some really bad things, this isn't an issue of whether or not you want to support Trisha Paytas. This is truly like an issue that I think a lot of people can really feel upset about, because being betrayed by a best friend for someone who is literally hurting your feelings is definitely a really painful thing to happen, and I think something that people can really relate to. And for it to be on this level is truly just embarrassing for Shane, and the fact that he wants to come back to the internet, and the fact that he has done such bad things already and his reputation is so down the toilet, it's not even funny, but he's still going to like ruin it more by doing this. It just really shows his character to a lot of people now, and people are just really seeing that he's willing to stand by someone who is so mean. And now we're seeing it's like literally for no reason, because Jeffree was not even going to be loyal to him last year. But I definitely want to know what you guys think about all of this, the new information that has come out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.